ठीक है, मैंने पूछा इससे पहले जो आपको पढ़ाया वो क्लियर है, कोई डाउट तो नहीं किसी का? मैं आगे बढ़ूं?
नो सर, डाउट नहीं है।
नो सर।
ओके, रिवाइज कर रहे हैं ना आप लोग? रिवाइज करते रहें, चीजें
Yes,
टफ
sir.
नहीं है, लेकिन रिवाइज नहीं करेंगे तो फिर आगे दिक्कत हो जाएगी। तो बताएं क्या इससे पहले लेक्चर में हम लोगों ने क्या क्या डिस्कस कर लिया अब तक? Basically we are doing we have seen definition of open set in terms of basis, okay, and second that given basis how to generate topology. And why basis is needed? Because it's not possible to list every member of the set always, every member of the topology. So better to have a subset of it from which we can generate the topology. And how to generate that topology? By taking arbitrary union. So we have seen why phi is already there, and apart from phi just write every member of basis and also its arbitrary union found by the members of basis. So can you tell me that see, the members of basis will be always member of topology, but member of topological spaces, I mean member of the topology, may not be member of the basis. I have given you examples. For example, on set x equal to 1, 2, 3, let us take discrete topology. Discrete topology is basically largest topology, power set. And if you go to my previous lecture and just look at there, that we have seen that collection of all singletons, say singleton 1, singleton 2, singleton 3, is a basis for discrete topology on set x is equal to 1, 2, 3. But in that discrete topology, 1, 2 is already there, set 1, 2, set consisting elements 1, 2 is already there, but that is not part of the basis because the members of basis are all singletons. That is singleton 1, singleton 2, singleton 3, this collection. So is it clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
That members of basis will be always members of topology, but a member of topology may not be member of the basis. And what are the conditions for a given set to be basis?
First condition is sir for each x में belong करेगा तो at least one basis मिलेगी x में.
At least one basis element from that collection which we are claiming that it is.
Yes sir. और second condition ये थी कि अगर वो x जो हम ले रहे हैं arbitrary,
very good,
वो जो एलिमेंट होगा वो दोनों बेसिस के अंडर होगा. B1 मान लीजिए बेसिस है और B2 बेसिस है, तो x belongs to B3 होगा, another basis which is the subset of B1
वो तो ठीक है,
intersection
लेकिन
B2.
जब ऐसा हो तब, I mean if there exists B1 B2 which contains x, then you need to see whether there exists B3 from that collection which is contained to B1 intersection B2. Whenever
yes,
such B1 B2 exists, then we must have some B3 from that collection which is contained into B1 intersection B2.
B2.
तो पहले अगर ऐसा हो नहीं हो तो फिर तो वो ट्रिवियली ओपन सेट हो गया. लेकिन अगर B1 B2 मिल रहा है, I mean if there exists B1 B2 containing x, but we don't have B3 which is contained to B1 intersection B2, then that collection will never be said as basis. ठीक है ना, ये सब चीजें हैं. जस्ट वेट करें, एक्चुअल में इसके पहले मैंने क्लास लिया था, वो फाइल कन्वर्ट हो रही वीडियो फाइल. चलो इसको मैं मिनिमाइज कर देता हूँ. Let us quickly revise what we have studied. It's important to in the starting of the lecture to discuss, to look at all those results. So what I will do is that I will first we will learn some definitions and one or two examples based on each definition, and then we will go in detail. See, in this book, just in 2 pages, every definition and all the important results are mentioned of your unit 1. But to explain this, I need at least 10 to 15 lectures, at least 10 to 15 lectures just to explain these 2 pages. So I will do it one by one. I will give you more examples. So let us quickly revise what is the definition of basis and how to define open set in terms of basis. We have seen open set in 2 ways. On any non-empty set, whenever, just wait. See, so let us have a quick revision for topologies. So any non-empty set is given to us. Any non-empty set is given to us. What we will do? We will construct its power set, and from that power set, we will choose some collection. And to claim that this T, script T, is basically going to form a topology, it must satisfy these three conditions. What are those three conditions? That phi and x are in T. Union of an element. Here it's not written that finite or arbitrary. So whenever it is not written, this means they are talking with respect to arbitrary union. Union of elements of any subcollection of T is in T. What this stands for, I already explained you. That this union may be finite, may be infinite. In case of infinite, it may be countable, it may be uncountable, depending on the index set. And intersection of any finite subcollection of T's should be again in T. I mean, just take finite intersection of the members of T, and their intersection must belong to T again. It should lie in T again. So if this collection satisfies that, then we will say that T is a topology on X. In short, and the pair XT is called as topological space. In short, we will denote always its X. If I say that X is a topological space, means this X is equivalent with the topology T. And this will satisfy all these three conditions. So this, up to this we have here. And once, remember, once it forms a topology, once T is a topology on X, then every member of T is assumed to be open set. So this is the first definition of open set. This is one of the definition of open set. Another definition is in terms of basis. In terms of basis. So before this, we have seen that one can always define on any non-empty set, one can always define two types of topology. One is the discrete topology and another one is the indiscrete topology. So just go through those lectures. I have already explained what we mean by discrete topology and what I mean by indiscrete topology. So indiscrete topology is the smallest topology on any non-empty set, phi and x. And you can see that in case of if your set consists of a single element, just a single element, A, or just write it as one, just this one is a symbol. So in that case, discrete and indiscrete topology coincide. But if your cardinality of your set is greater than or equal to 2, then both will be different. So basically, discrete topology is collection of all possible subset of X, and that is your power set. So discrete topology is the power set. And this is the finite complement topology. Also, this I have explained. We will see various examples based on this. How to define cofinite topology? Basically, finite complement topology or cofinite topology is collection of all those U as a subset of X whose complement is finite or whole X. Whose complement is finite or whole X. So this part I have discussed its proof. Now next, and see, we say, suppose on any set there are two topologies. There are two topologies on any given set. On any given set. Then those topologies may not be comparable. Those topologies, we will see that that topologies given on a particular set may not be comparable. We will say that they are comparable only if either T is set containment, either T is contained into T dash or T dash is contained into T. If this happens, then we will say only that topologies are comparable. And in case T is contained to T dash, then T dash is said to be finer and T is said to be coercer. So we are going to follow this particular notation, this idea. And in some books, you will find that someone is also using weak and strong topology, etc. Weaker or stronger. Now let me quickly remind this definition for basis for topology. See, why basis for a topology is needed? That is written here. That it's not always possible to write entire collection T of open sets. So try to minimize it. I mean, look at some smaller collection with the help of which we can generate this entire collection. So basically that is the intuition behind constructing basis for a topology. And how to do that? So the definition from there, the definition of this basis for a topology develops from that intuition, from that requirement. So if X is any set, and then a basis for a topology on X is basically collection script B of subset of X, and its member will be called basis element if for each X from the space X, when I say space means topological space X, that is X equipped with topology T. So in short, I will always write it X. On X, we have topology T. So for every member of this set, there is at least one basis element from this collection which will contain X. That is, there always exists at least one member from the basis element which contains around every member X of X. And if suppose there are two B1 and B2, if there are two B1 and B2, remember this if. So if means whenever there are two B1, B2 basis elements which contains same X, then there must be a B3 from that collection which is contained into B1 intersection B2. And remember that this notation is used for this one in the book of J.R. Munkres. So if B satisfy, if this collection, we will denote this collection by script B, and its member by simple B, So if B satisfies these two conditions, then we will define the topology T generated by, then we will say that topology T generated by B as follows. And later on, we have seen that whenever a basis is given, how to generate topology, just put phi in that collection, write all elements of basis, and apart from it, take arbitrary union of the members of basis. So in that way, one can generate the topology generated by the basis. So this is one of the, that is already written here. That is what, yes, this, look at this result. Suppose X is any set and B basis for this particular topology T, then this topology can be generated from this basis by having the collection of all unions of elements of B, So already it will contain the members of basis. Why? Because if you take, see, yes, it will always contain the member of basis as well as their, arbitrary union. Just take collection. Collection means we need to look at their arbitrary unions. And we also have seen that every open set can be written as arbitrary union of the basis members. Just vary X, since we know that around each X, since B is a basis, this one is basis. So according to the requirement of basis, definition, there are two requirements. So first one is that around each X, you must have at least one basis element from this collection. So just vary this X over every member. Take this, since we know that around each X there will be Bx, at least one Bx. So just take there its union. Take all those X from U, and around all those X, choose this basis element. This existence is guaranteed because B is a basis, and then their arbitrary union. Take their union. So, and we know that bases are open sets, and arbitrary union of open set is open. So by this way, you can show that U is an open set. And we know that every member of topology is said to be an open set. So all these I have discussed in my previous lecture. Now, some examples of basis. So we have seen this also. I explained that if on any set we have the discrete topology, then that discrete basis for that discrete topology is collection of all one-point set. So one can write basis for discrete topology. Basis for discrete topology is basically collection of all those singleton P where P belongs to X. So this set is going to form basis for discrete topology. So it's not possible to list, because if X is infinite, then power set is bound to be infinite. So it's not possible to write all the elements of, to write in the entire collection. So in place of this, let me write that this collection of all singletons, because P is varying on X. So can you tell me that under what condition this collection of singletons is going to be countable set? Yes, anyone? What should be assumption on for this set to be countable? Countably infinite. It will depend on X. If X, because P is varying on X. So if X is countable, then this collection will be countable. And if X is uncountable, then obviously this collection is uncountable. So this collection of all singleton can be countable, can be uncountable, depending on the nature of X. The set. So this is, see, this base collection of bases may not be a topology itself, but this will generate, I mean, since singletons are the smallest building blocks, so by taking their arbitrary union, one can generate any set. One can generate whatever possible subset of X you can think of. It can be generated by taking the union of all these singletons. Just vary P on that, the member of that subset. So in this way, remember that the basis for discrete topology is collection of all singletons. Now another important result is this one, lemma 13.2, lemma 13.2, and lemma 13.3. These two I need to explain first. So question, so first go to this, and then I will come to previous one. Suppose, and see, in just like in linear algebra, their basis, the concept of basis is not similar to this one. Why? There is a difference. Why? Because their basis, in case of linear algebra, basis means that every element of vector space can be written as linear combination of basis, element of its basis. There is linear combination, whereas in topology, we mean generated means we need to generate it by arbitrary union. We need to generate it by taking union. So there is a difference, because linear algebra operations may not be there in topological spaces, because on X we have just a collection of open set. So linear operation may or may not be there on X. So we will never talk of linear combination. Second, so it's different from linear algebra. Let me tell it. And another important, that in linear algebra, representation is unique in writing that linear combination of basis members unique. But here, for a particular topology, there may be more than one basis. There may be more than one basis. So suppose now apart from it, also suppose on any set X, let there be two topologies, say T and T dash. Say T and T dash are two topologies on a particular set X, on a particular set X. And suppose this topology is generated by the collection B, and let me write this, let me choose notation for this basis for generating this topology T dash as B dash. So that is what given here, that let B and B dash be basis for the topologies T and T dash respectively on the X. Then the following are equivalent. What? That T dash is finer than T. T dash is finer than T means we will say that T dash is finer than T if for each X in X, if around each X of the space, of the topological space, I can find, look, we need to show that T dash is finer than T. We need to show that T dash is finer than T. Then what we will do, that for each X in X and each basis element B in B, each basis element B in B containing X, there is a basis element B dash from this collection basis generating the topology T dash, such that X belongs to B dash and B dash is contained to B. Look at, observe that this relation and this one. See, around each X, first look it like this, that see, if you can do this containment such that around each X I can find a B dash from this basis such that it is sitting inside B, such that it is contained, set containment into B, then the topology generated by this one is going to be larger, is going to be in terms of topology, you can say it is going to be finer. It is going to be finer. So to show that, I need to show that around each X and around each B, look, you have to fix this X and you have to fix and think of this. Is this clear to everyone? आपको क्या करना है कि अगर आपको ये दिखाना है कि this topology T dash is finer than T, so you have to show that for each X in X and for each basis element B in this B, यहाँ containment उल्टा है. I can find, I need to look at, there exists at least one B dash, there is a, from this collection, such that X belongs to B dash and B dash is contained to B. If this happens for each X and for each B containing X, आपको ये फिक्स करना है, ये फिक्स करना और इसको ढूंढना है. And if you are able to construct at least one x which fills this definition, then we will say that this t dash is not finer than t. Or if you are able to show that it fails for at least one basis member b containing x, या तो element के लिए fail करा दो या basis के लिए fail करा दो, this then we will say that t dash is not finer than t. तो प्रूफ पे आने से पहले कुछ एग्जांपल्स देखते हैं, फिर इस प्रूफ पे आएंगे. पहले समझते हैं कि ये कहना क्या चाहता है. ओके, फर्स्ट वी विल, ताकि आपको जब ये प्रूफ में कराऊं तो आपको चीजें फील हो. सो फॉर दैट देयर इज वेरी, एंड सी द सेम डेफिनेशन इज ट्रू टू शो दैट t is this t dash is coarser than t or t is finer than t dash. You need to show that for every x belonging to what? For every x belonging to x and b dash belonging to and b dash belonging to this collection for the topology basis generating t dash topology, there is a basis member b from this collection such that x belongs to b and b is contained into b dash. Just ulta dikhana hai. And if both t dash is contained into t and t is contained to t dash, then we will say that two topologies are equal. Two topologies, they are generating the same topology. They are generating the same topology. So to make it more clear, there is very good example given here. But before that, let me recall these important points. Read it one line by line. This is a very good book. You need to read it line by line. Don't skip it. I am here stating many of the points, but try to read it line by line. Okay. Some students find this condition hard to remember. Which way does the inclusion go? They ask. It may be easier to remember if you recall the analogy between a topological space and a truck full load. हाँ, ये example अभी मैं यहाँ पे और clear करूँगा, ये समझ में आ जाएगा. Think of all pebbles as the basis element of the topology. After the pebbles are smashed to dust, मतलब उनको और छोटा कर दिया. The dust particles are the basis element of the new topology. The new topology is finer than the older one, and each dust particle was contained inside a pebble as the criteria states. तो इसको समझने के लिए इस एग्जांपल को देखो. एक मिनट, इस एग्जांपल को और हैंग कर गया. एक मिनट मैं जरा देख लूं लेक्चर मेरा हो गया. सेव कर लो, अदरवाइज Now, is this book visible to everyone? Example 4.
Yes, sir.
अच्छा, इस पे आने से पहले मैंने शायद एक आध दो चीजें स्किप कर दी है. देख लेता हूँ, कुछ स्किप तो नहीं किया है. हाँ देखो, ये देखो, इस चीज को पढ़ लो. ये मैंने, ये जो मैं बोल रहा था, this lemma, this one basically, this lemma, that topology, how to generate topology from the basis. So what is written here, just read it. This lemma states that every open set U in X can be expressed as the union of the basis element. This expression for U is not, however, unique. Thus, the use of the term basis in topology differs drastically from its use in linear algebra, where the equation expressing a given vector as a linear combination of basis vector is unique. So this is the difference. We have described in two different ways how to go from a basis to the topology it generates. Sometimes we need to go in reverse direction, that given a topology, how to write its basis, which will generate that topology. So here is one way of obtaining a basis for a given topology. We shall use it frequently. Basically, that is for this lemma, but I will come to it later on and show how to, when a topology is given, how to write its basis. But in topological space, basis may not be unique. But before that, let me show you how to show that to the given two topologies, given two basis, and they are going to generate the same topology. How to show that? So if I am able to show that T is contained to T dash and T dash is contained into T, then in that sense, we will say that B and B dash, these bases are going to generate the same topology. So to explain that, this example 4 is very useful. Example 4 is very useful. read this, then I will explain. So one can now see that the collection B of all circular regions, we have seen that the collection of all circular region in the plane is the basis. In previous lecture, I have discussed this. And here is the claim that collection of all circular region, this collection, I mean open disk, interior of circular region, or collection of all circular regions in the plane, and this rectangular region. Figure 13.4 illustrate the why. Okay, so here basically this B is here we have the collection of all circular regions in the plane, and we are going to claim and second is collection of all rectangular regions, then we are going to show that basically these two are going to generate the same topology. We know they are going to generate same topology, the same topology. Why? Now, let me call this one, okay. Suppose the topology generated by this one is denoted by T and this B dash is denoted by T dash. So first I need to show that T dash is finer than T. T dash is finer than T means the topology generated by collection of all rectangular regions is going to be finer than the topology generated by collection of all circular regions. Topology generated by collection of all circular regions. So for this recall, for this you need to show that for every x belonging to X and for every B containing that X, for every B containing this X, let me read it, X belonging to B. For every X, here is also for every, and here we have also for every B. And from where this member will come from B, this will come from B, this basis collection. There exists B dash belonging to this collection such that X belongs to B dash and B dash is contained into B. यही तो है, ये आपको लेके चलना है, ये लेके चलना और मुझे ये ढूंढना है. देखो जो मैं कह रहा हूं उस पे स्ट्रिक्ट रहो, जो लिखा हुआ डेफिनेशन आपको प्योर मैथमेटिक्स में एग्जैक्टली जो डेफिनेशन दे रखा, यू हैव टू फॉलो दैट वन, nothing else. So this is what requirement to show that this topology is finer than this one. I mean topology generated by one. First we will do for this one and just repeat the inclusion to show that T dash is contained into T. So if I am able to show for every X and for every B, then if I am able to show that it hold this definition hold for every X and for every B, then I will say that topology generated by all circular regions is going to be finer than topology generated by all circular regions. Now, because here geometry is there, so you can already think of all these things I have defined on the R2. R2 means R cross R, your plane. Okay, plane. I mean, this is your X axis, this is your Y axis, take their Cartesian product. So it is going to generate this R2, Cartesian product. So on R2, we have this, on R2, we are generating, basically later on, we will see that they are going to generate the usual topology on R2. But since I have not till now explained you what I mean by usual topology on R and R2 and what will be the basis for this. So just assume that there will be some topology generated by these two. And first I'm going to show that those two, whatever be the topology, those topologies will be equal. And then from here, I will come to usual topologies on R and R2, etc. So we need to show that for every x and for every b. Now take any point in the plane, take any point. Obviously the point x belonging to R2 will be of this type, x is equal to x1, x2. So in short, I am denoting this x1, x2 by x. So suppose x is any point in R2 in this plane. You can assume this book, page of this book as a plane. So in this, around each x and around each b, so I have assumed this as x. Now look at b. What is b? B is the member of all circular region. Its member are circular region. So around this, whatever, I mean, circular region you choose, whatever circular region you choose containing this x, let it, we call it b, b1, b2, whatever you are. So for every b, I can always construct around this x a rectangular region which is contained into this circular region. This I can do or not? Just tell me. ये तो हमेशा कर सकते हैं ना, अराउंड ईच एक्स. हर सर्किल के अंदर आप स्क्वायर इंक्लोज कर सकते हो, और स्क्वायर के अंदर क्या इंक्लोज कर सकते हो? सर्किल. So for every x and for every circular region containing that x, I can always think of a rectangular region which is contained into that circular region. तो ये तो हर पॉइंट पे ट्रू है. हर एक x को कंटेन करने वाले जितने भी, I mean all circular region containing x, I can, for all circular region containing this x, I can always choose a rectangular region from this collection, rectangular which is sitting inside this circle. So in this way, the topology generated by this one, the smaller one, the topology generated by the members, basis member which are smaller, I mean in this containment, is going to be finer. यहाँ देखो b dash contained है b में, but the topology generated by this one is going to be finer. उल्टा relation है दोनों में. And same I can do this, I mean around each point, for every rectangular regions, around this point I can always think of a circular region. तो ये तो for every x and for every b true है, and similarly for every x and for every b dash, for every x belonging to x and for every b dash belonging to this collection, this containment is also true, that the x belongs to b and b is contained to b dash. So in this way, the topology generated by all circular regions as well as topology generated by all rectangular regions, both are going to generate the same topology. समझ में आया क्यों same topology generate करेंगे? So this is also an example. This one is also an example to show that a topology may have more than one basis. देखो topology same generate हो रही है, लेकिन उनको basis क्या different है कि नहीं? टोपोलॉजी से एक में कलेक्शन ऑफ ऑल सर्कुलर रीजन है, दूसरे में कलेक्शन ऑफ ऑल रेक्टेंगुलर रीजन है. कलेक्शन ऑफ ऑल रेक्टेंगुलर रीजन है. नाउ आफ्टर दिस आई विल कम टू दिस वन. अब इससे ये समझ में आ गया कि हमें, सो नाउ जस्ट गो थ्रू दिस. आई विल डिस्कस इट टुमारो, बट लेट मी गिव यू एन आइडिया ऑफ दिस वन. Now you have studied on R the usual topology generated is called the standard topology on the real line, which is generated by these open intervals. So basically collection of all these open intervals is going to form, collection of all open intervals in the real line is going to form a topology, and that topology is called standard topology on the real line. So whatever you have learned in your metric spaces on R under usual metric, that is basically going to generate the standard topology. If you take collection of all open sets in metric spaces, then that is going to such that it satisfies that condition of those three conditions of topology, that phi index should be in this arbitrary union of the members of T is again in T, and the finite intersection of T is again in T, then that collection of all open sets of X is going to generate. But in metric space, actually all open sets are generated with the help of distance function. That is with the help of distance function. I mean, first we are constructing open balls, and then by taking their arbitrary union, we are containing open set, and collection of all open sets satisfying those three conditions of topology. That is basically going to generate your standard topology. So standard topology may or may not be generated by this say metric space. But because here just this collection, if you have this collection of all open intervals, here all word is important. So this is going to form the basis. This is going to form the basis for standard topology. This is itself not a topology. This collection is itself not a topology, but by taking its union, it is going to generate the standard topology on the real line. Similarly on R2, the collection of all open disk is going to generate the standard topology on R2, and on R3, collection of all open spheres is going to generate standard topology on R3. So I am not going to in detail of all those lectures that already I have discussed in my metric spaces lecture. So you just visit the playlist, and there already in BSc final year also I am teaching this year that metric spaces. In that I have given all this detail, because that will again consume 5-6 more lectures. So you can revise from there. Okay. So remember what till now we have studied, that for the discrete topology, basis is collection of all singletons. For the usual metric on for the standard topology on the real line, the basis members of collection of all open intervals, Now, apart from this standard topology and discrete topology, let us look at some more topologies. And in that, the first one is the lower limit topology. Then I will come to upper limit topology and the K topology. So these three are important topologies. So I need to stop this lecture because I think you have the next class. So I will discuss it tomorrow. Okay, in next lecture I will discuss it about lower limit topology, upper limit topology, then how to check whether the given topologies on any particular sets are comparable or not. All these I will discuss one by one. So keep revising from the book also. ठीक है, समझ में आ रहा है आप लोगों को? अच्छा, ग्रुप में स्नैपशॉट लेके भेज देंगे, मैं अटेंडेंस दे दूंगा. अभी मैं और एग्जांपल्स एक्सप्लेन करूंगा, लेकिन पहले क्या क्या पढ़ना है आपको वो तो पहले एक्सप्लेन कर दूं. एक आइडिया तो आपको पहले हो जाए कि बेसिस का डेफिनेशन क्या है, बेसिस से टोपोलॉजी कैसे जनरेट करेंगे. ठीक है, टोपोलॉजी दे रखा है तो उसके लिए कैसे बेसिस बनाएंगे जो वो टोपोलॉजी जनरेट कर दे. बेसिस यूनिक नहीं होता. फिर अभी आपको मैंने बताया कि कलेक्शन ऑफ ऑल सर्कुलर रीजन्स एंड कलेक्शन ऑफ ऑल रेक्टेंगुलर रीजन बोथ आर गोइंग टू जनरेट द सेम टोपोलॉजी. तो अभी तो ज्योमेट्री से एक्सप्लेन किया है. अब आरएल आरके में कौन फाइनर होगा, आई मीन लोअर लिमिट टोपोलॉजी के टोपोलॉजी में कौन फाइनर होगा, क्या कंपेरेबल है कि नहीं है, तो कौन स्ट्रिक्ट कौन कोर्सर होगा, कौन फाइनर होगा. तो ये सब जितने डिफरेंट टोपोलॉजीज पढ़ी इनके बारे में कंपैरिजन करके देखेंगे वेदर दोस टोपोलॉजीज आर कंपेरेबल और नॉट. और फिर मैं दोबारा जब कभी कन्वर्जेंस पे आऊंगा, कन्वर्जेंस इन टोपोलॉजिकल स्पेस, तो वो केस और इंटरेस्टिंग होगा. लेकिन उसके पहले कुछ जो स्टैंडर्ड टोपोलॉजी है वो मुझे बताना पड़ेगा. तो 8-10 कम से कम स्टैंडर्ड केस, ताकि आपको वो थिंकिंग अप्रोच समझ में आ जाए, कैसे करना है, चीजें कैसे अप्लाई करनी है. ठीक है, मैं लेक्चर एंड करता हूं और स्नैपशॉट लेके ग्रुप में, व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप में भेज देंगे.